left behind live, just in case other people have follow-up questions to these, but try to get these done as quickly as possible. So the most recent comment that I have left is from DN. DN asks, for ED, is it worth risking P&T to get that extra pay? Only been P&T for 3 years. Okay, so in my opinion, I can't answer that. And I don't think anyone else in the chat can answer that for you as well. That's a question only you, your doctor, your pharmacist, and your significant other, if you have one, whether it be a spouse or someone else, can answer, okay? Because we don't know what your condition is. We don't know what kind of evidence you have. And besides that, that's a personal decision. Whether you had P&T for 10 years, 1 year, or 3 years, that's still a decision you have to make. Don't go into it thinking if you actually have this issue that somehow P&T will be taken away. No, they gave you P&T for a reason. You're filing a claim for something that's actually going on with you. And if that's the case, then you need to consider, okay, this is what's really happening to me. This is something I feel I need to do. Don't really take the P&T into consideration because they gave you P&T status for a reason. So that's a personal decision though. I can't tell you if it's worth it or not. The current rate for SMCK, which is for ED, I don't know. I'm gonna look that up real quick to see what the current rate is. I think it's like $118 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Let's see, 2022 SMCK pays $118.33. So you're talking about basically $118 extra per month on top of what you're already getting. So you have to make that determination. I can't make it for you. The next one I have, it says, hold up, I can't be able to comments. Okay, I have one here from Juan, where Juan wants to know if something happens to him, he's 100% P&T, would his spouse get something if something were to happen to him? Okay, I responded back to that telling him about DIC. But my apologies, I didn't go into depth explaining DIC. So basically, dependency, indemnity, compensation. When you're a veteran, something happens to you, in order for your spouse or your dependents behind you to receive compensation, it usually has to be service connected. So whatever you die from, it needs to be something that's service connected or something they can tie to your service. So for example, there's been many veterans who have died from heart attacks. And normally that's not something that's been service connected, right? But the lawyers, most of the time they're able to do this, they were able to tie whether it was medication, the type of condition that they had, to the heart attack, and they were able to receive DIC. But let's just say you were involved in a car crash or an airplane crash and you died. That's gonna be hard sledding trying to get DIC in a situation like that, because how was that service related, the plane crash or the car accident? So I need you guys to understand that, but for DIC, it needs to be something that's service connected in order for the dependents to receive whatever compensation that you were getting. And they're not gonna receive the amount that you're receiving right now. They're only gonna get maybe half of what you're getting. Excuse me, I have no idea what a lot of you guys are receiving, but DIC, I mean, you're looking probably $1,700, $1,800 a month for DIC for your spouse. Dependents, I think it's a little less than that, if I'm not mistaken, for dependents. But that's how DIC works. So it depends on what you died from, you know, your cause of death, if it was service connected or not. If it was service connected, yes, okay? Hopefully that helps you out. For how long do dependents keep getting paid? I believe it's up to 18, but if they go to school, I believe it's up to, I want to tell you wrong, I think it's up to the age of 22. up to the age of 22 if they continue their education and go on to college. If they stop at age 18 and don't go to college, then at age 18 they stop. Because when you turn 18, and a lot of you guys who have dependents that are still in school that may turn 18 during the school year, the VA sends you out a form to fill out saying that your child is still in school and the date that they're supposed to graduate or whatever, so they know when to cut it off, right? So you all have received those forms. Those of you who have children who turn 18 during the school year, they're going to mail that form out to you. And it works the same way here. They're going to get a form by the time they turn 18, if it's during the school year or right after the school year, confirming, okay, are you in school? If you're in school, they're going to continue it. If you're not in school, they're going to cut it off right then and there. Let me see. Other comments that I got. I think I had another comment that I wanted to answer, but I'll get back to it. Let's see who else I got on here. Yeah, I do have another comment on there. Let's see. Does the money get split among all dependents for each dependent gets paid the same amount? Now with DIC, or you just speaking in general, but in DIC, I believe it gets split. Well, not one amount that's split, but they get one amount. I'm trying to remember how that goes. That's a good question. I got to get back on you on that one because I don't remember how that goes with dependents. I know with the spouse, they usually get around 17 to 18 a month. With dependents, if it's multiple dependents, I don't remember how that goes. I remember they get a set amount. Do they each get a set amount? I got to get back with you on that one. I don't remember how that one goes, to be quite honest. I don't want to lie to you and tell you something wrong, but I do not remember how that one goes. My apologies. Like I said, I don't know every single thing. Let's see. Have you heard of having 2 Cnp exams and your presence is not necessary? Excuse me, your presence is not necessary. They left a message today. Disregard these appointments and stated do not show up. It's just a record review. What's crazy, they sent me an appointment card. Crazy. Okay, yes, I have. Now, depending on what your disabilities are, depending on how long you've had your disabilities, because it could be something as simple as they're reviewing your records if you're not 100%, right? They do a review periodically, especially for people who are not 100% PNT. Your records get reviewed periodically, whether you guys know that or not. So, not saying it happens every year, but if you go to e-benefits and you go to your history in e-benefits, you will see where they've done a review of your records through the years, depending on how long you've been service connected. Say you've been service connected for 15 years, and let's say your rating is only at 70%. You're gonna have at least 4 or 5 times they reviewed your records. 4 or 5 times guaranteed they reviewed your records. And that could be the case here where they're reviewing your records. You're less than 100%. They will continue to review those records until you leave this earth. They're gonna still review your record. It's required by law. The only time it stops is when you're 100% your PNT status. PNT status is basically when it stops. At 100, you can be 100. You've been 100 for 10 years. They still gonna review your records. They have to. They're required by law to do so. What was this? I keep getting confused between which channel is for one for travel and which one is for me. Yeah, so Markel's TV, the podcast, this is the Veterans channel. You know what? I may just throw Veterans something on this channel. And in the other channel is my tech channel, Markel's Tech Reviews. So I'll throw that on there as well. Let's see. Hold up. What we got here? Trying to get used to using this damn thing on the iPad. So I apologize if I'm a little slow with this. Let's see. ED is usually rated at 0% with SMC, but if you're already 100% PNT, it's a personal matter to preside ED. Yeah, like I said, that's something personal they need to do. It's only going to pay you SMCK. Yeah, you're not going to get a rating for it. I don't know anybody that. Well, some people do get 10%. I've heard of some people that do have a 10% rating for ED, but normally, yeah, you get a 0 rating and you get SMCK. And I just gave you the numbers. It's $118.33, right? And then that's a decision you have to make. I have a K rating for ED. I have a K rating for loss of use. And you can have multiples. You can have up to 3 SMCK ratings for those of you that don't know. Well, and that brings me to another question that was on here regarding the SMC from Mr. Book. Let me answer that one real quick. So Mr. Book asked the question, if a veteran has loss of use of both feet, loss of use of both hands, and they're in the SMC M.5 category, can they move up higher? Yes, you can if you have other disabilities. But if you're just looking at it from the way a rater would look at it, loss of use for feet, for both feet, is SMC-L. For hands, it's SMC-M. When they combine M, because they're not going to pay each individual one. So when they combine L with M, that's how you get SMC M.5. Now, if you have others that add up to 50% or higher, then they're going to put you in the N category. Or if you have 100%, right? You're going to jump from, say you get 100% later on for something else. You're going to go from M.5 to N.5. That's about $1,000 difference there. Because you're already, I mean, I know it's confusing for some of you guys hearing all this M.5, N.5. This is the SMC category I'm referring to. When I say SMC, that's special monthly compensation. This goes beyond 100%. For those of you that are unaware, 100%, most people are aware of 100% with the VA. But when you have disabilities that go beyond, right, where you need more care, that's how you get into the SMC category. And the SMC category can pay you upwards, if you qualify, almost $10,000, upwards of $10,000. That's the highest level per month for SMC category. But there are other categories in between. Like with L. L will pay you an extra 620 something, it's like 628 a month, and goes up from there. Okay, so you get this on top of your 100% pay. It's not like you get this separate amount and you're 100%. Most veterans get around $3,100, $3,200 a month at 100%. You would add another $628 on top of whatever you're already getting. And then if you have dependents, like a spouse, you have kids, you're taking care of your parents, your spouse needs aid and attendance, you're getting paid for that. There's so many different layers you can add on to that. And SMCK, you can add on to that. So you're talking upwards, potentially someone who is in serious need of help, potentially could easily get $12,000 to $13,000 a month if they fit into that category. But you got to be jacked up to get in those categories. Because as you can see, just saying loss of feet only going to get you both feet. You're only talking another $628 a month. Loss of both hands, I think that's an extra $1,200 a month. I don't know all the rates by heart, but I'm guessing that's where that is. It'll put you around right at $5,000 a month if you have that issue, and then it goes on from there. So there's a lot of different categories that go into it, but just know that the more you're disabled, the more money that's available. Not saying you need to go out there and start filing all kinds of claims trying to get this money, but I'm just trying to explain what these different categories are. I said, will you do lives about tech stuff in the future in case people have questions about how they work or things like that? Yes, I can. Starting next year, I was going to start doing some lives on there. No problem, man. No problem at all. No problem. That's what I'm here for, dude. I'm trying to help, you know, just try to help my fellow veterans as much as I can. Again, I don't know everything. Some things have changed. Some things have stayed the same. Some things are new. Like with the insurance that's coming, for those of you that don't have insurance, make sure this insurance is going to be super cheap. There's going to be no excuse not to sign up for it. It's coming. So as soon as it's dropped, I'm going to let you guys know, and please sign up for it. If you got a new claim that you just put in and you got awarded that new claim, you're going to be given the opportunity to get insurance again. And if you don't have insurance, I suggest you take the insurance. Okay? These are crazy times that we're in right now. Take that insurance, please. There was one other question I forgot to talk about. Let's see. Are you talking about life insurance or regular life insurance? I'm talking about life insurance, okay? They're going to offer life insurance to all veterans. But if you get a new award letter, like you put in a claim, you get a new claim, you get a new percentage or service connection, they're going to offer you that insurance again, okay? Please do not let this opportunity pass you by if you don't have insurance to get insurance. We all need insurance. Someone's going to ask about burial insurance from the VA. Now, I've done a video talking about this, but you have to apply for that insurance. That insurance is just not given to you. Matter of fact, I'm going to repeat something I said in that video. Never assume the VA is just going to give you something. Everything with our U.S. government, you have to apply for. Doesn't matter how many wars you've been to, doesn't matter how much stuff you've done, how many medals you have, all that don't matter. Unless you apply, you will not get it. So you know you want to be buried in the National Cemetery, you need to apply for that. Do not wait till the last minute and tell your family, well, when I die, just go ahead, tell the VA and they'll take care of it. No, they're not. You have to apply. If you know that's where you want to be buried, go ahead and fill out that application and let them know, hey, this is where I want to be buried. So they could, when the time comes, they know where to send the body. Instead of last minute, what happens to a lot of families, they wait last minute. I got to fill out a form? I didn't know I had to fill out a form. I'm telling you guys right now, do not wait. If you wait, you're going to be sitting in that morgue for weeks till they decide to put you in the ground somewhere, and then finally they move your body from there to the National Cemetery when your application finally goes through. Do not wait on these things, man. Have a will in place. Know where you want your stuff to go. Have your last word already. Get a living will. Get all this stuff taken care of now. Because if you don't, it's going to be a mess. Your family trying to figure all this stuff out. Or you have no insurance and they standing out there with signs trying to collect money to put you on the ground. And you sitting there going, man, that's a veteran. How come they ain't paying for it? Because you have to apply. Doesn't matter when you apply. I don't care if you're 35 years old. You know you want to be buried in the National Cemetery. Go apply. Right now I have $10,000 in life insurance policy from the VA, $12 a month. Well, when the new policy comes out, you will be able to upgrade. Let's see, vet families can apply for funeral honors too. I did it many times, and yes, that's what I'm trying to tell them, JM. Do not, man. I've seen this. You see, this is a veteran, and they tell you all this stuff, and then I go up to them like, yeah, did he apply to be buried? They were like, you gotta apply? Yeah, you gotta apply. It's not something our government, think about anything you've ever done with our U.S. government. When have they just given you something? They don't. The VA will never just give you something. You have to apply. Every single thing you do, you apply for it. They're not going to just hand it to you. And when they talk about putting you in the ground, they're not going to just put you in the ground, son. You have to apply. What's up, Mr. Harris? How you doing today? Yep, back on here live. So, trying to see if I have any other questions on here. I think that's all of the most recent ones. If I miss anyone, I apologize, but that's all I see right now. Now, does anybody on here have any other questions before I wrap this up, man? But I just wanted to reiterate that, man. SMC was denied. I'm doing fine. What did you, if you don't mind elaborating, because you should have it on your award letter, what was going on with your SMC rating. So you got denied SMC, don't know what you applied for. If you don't mind sharing that, that might be someone on here who may went through something similar that may be able to offer some advice for you to help you out. But that's strictly up to you. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up on here because it keeps disappearing on me. 1 second, guys. Let me pull up my channel here. I like doing this better on the iPad because the screen is better for me, but the problem is it just won't stay up. The chat won't stay up. So my channel live. Should I turn down this volume? Okay. Let's see. Is it true that the current VA life insurance policy, life insurance pays you back the money you made on payments if you sell the policy? Yeah, but I believe you have to have that policy for a while. I don't remember the exact time frame, but you're supposed to have that policy. I'm sure they explain it all to you, but you can cash it in if that's what you mean. If you want to cash in that policy, you can, but you have to have it a certain amount of time. 100% P&T schizo. Okay, now, what did you apply for SMC? Because I can tell you this right now, and this is a great time to talk about this. If you are 100% based off PTSD alone, or you're just based off depression, schizophrenia, right? And you apply for SMC. What exactly are you applying for on SMC? Because I can tell you right now, they're not going to give you SMC, L, or any of the other ones just for PTSD. Ain't going to happen. Not going to happen. Now, if you're TBI, you can't keep your balance. You can't even feed yourself. You're like this with a spoon. You can't go to the restroom without somebody helping you. That's totally different with TBI. But if you're just, mental health, but you still can function, that's not enough to get you into the SMC category. There's got to be more to it than just, I'm PTSD. I'm 100% PTSD. They're gonna go, okay, so what do you need SMC for? Because you got when you guys are researching SMC, you got to go look at those categories and see where you would fit in those categories. Because with PTSD, unless there's something a little bit more than just PTSD, where you're just uncontrollable, that you just have no control over anything you're doing and someone has to be with you, that's different. But if you're just 100% PTSD, you're able to drive to the VA on your own, go to your appointments on your own. You can stay in the house by yourself, cook, clean, go to the bathroom, all that stuff by yourself. They're not going to put you in the SMC category for that. T-Mix, what's going on, man? Let's see. That is called surrender of the policy. Okay. Yeah, don't do it. Hey, I've heard of people doing it for financial reasons, but but when you cash that in, you're not going to have any more insurance. You know that, right? What's up, the warrior? How you doing? Let's see. Brother, I applied for aid and attendance and housebound. I was denied for both and a favorable finding of being housebound. I'm confused. Okay, so you applied for aid and attendance and housebound. You got denied for both. Okay. Now let's run through that real quick. So first thing first, okay, just so we clear, and this is not trying to pick on you, but everybody understands the difference between the two, and hopefully everybody understands what these two things are. Okay, so I'm gonna start from there. Housebound, SMCS. Two ways to get housebound. The first way you can get housebound is by applying for SMC housebound. But housebound requires you to be just that, in your home. You prescribe bed rest or you're prescribed by your doctor to be in your home so much time, right? Per month, per week, per day, per year. That's how that works. So when you're applying for SMCS and you say, okay, I'm housebound, that means you're staying at home. You're not going anywhere. You're in your house, right? Your doctor says you have to be in bed 5 out of 7 days, 6 out of 7 days, something to that effect, right? That's one way. Another way to get SMCS is if you have a disability that's 100%, and then you have other disabilities that add up to 60% or more, that's another way to get SMCS. Even if you're on TDIU, you have one disability that got you to TDIU, but you got all these other disabilities that are 60% or higher, that gets you SMCS as well. Okay, so those are the two ways. Now let's move to housebound. Let's move to aid and attendance. Aid and attendance. Aid and attendance is basically you needing the help of another person in your daily life. Does not have to be every single day, but you need help, whether it's going to the restroom, whether it's brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, putting on your prosthetics, helping you get dressed, feeding you, not cooking your meals, feeding you. Trying to see what else. Driving you to appointments. But there needs to be a combination of things. It can't be one out of all those things like, well, they drive me to my doctor's appointment. You can call a cab for that. You can call Uber for that, right? But if it's someone who's physically doing something like going to the bathroom, you got to do number 1 or number 2. They got to help you with that. You're going to take a shower. You can't even get in the shower without somebody helping you. Or you can't get out without somebody helping you. Somebody's got to help you put you in that shower seat. You understand what I'm saying? That's a totally different thing than just saying, well, I have this and I'm going to apply for aid and attendance and housebound and see which one works. No. Do you fit in those categories? Right? That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm trying to explain. Do you fit in those categories? So when you apply for aid and attendance, what disability did you have to where they would go, okay, because I'm going to use myself for an example because I get aid and attendance. My left leg goes numb. My left foot, I have foot drop. I can't move it at all, right? I wear a brace, an AFO, just to walk. You understand what I'm saying? So I need aid and attendance because if I fall, which I've already done a couple times, I can't do anything with my leg going numb. Nothing. So like now, I have somebody here now. I'm never alone. Whenever you guys see me out, like on my other channel, I always got somebody with me. Always. Every place I go, I'm never alone. The only times I'm ever alone is when I'm traveling back to the States. And when I'm going to the airport, there's somebody there waiting to pick me up. Even when I'm flying into Florida and I got to stay in Florida that night, there's a driver service there to pick me up to take me to my hotel. I'm never alone. Never. Which is why I have stuff like this so family knows where I am, because this detects when I fall. When I fall, this sends a message to everybody on my list to let them know I had a fall, and they're going to call to make sure I'm okay. This is why the VA gives people stuff like this for a specific reason. And I'm trying to explain and break this all down to you guys to understand what all is involved in this, because sometimes we think we need something until the VA actually looks at it and then breaks it down and tells you, look, you just have PTSD. There's nothing that you need aid and attendance for PTSD. You understand what I'm saying? So when you guys are applying for these things, please understand what they are, what they require, and don't have your expectations up here because, okay, my friend got it. But your friend's probably not telling you everything that's going on with them. If they're getting aid and attendance, they're getting it because they need help. They're not getting it because they're telling you, oh, I just got this knee problem. No, there's a lot more than that. What's up, work? Great to see you too, man. Let's see. Also, is it true that after you use the 36th month of the GI bill you pay, the GI bill, the VA pays you back $1,500 you paid when you enroll? That I don't know nothing about. I've never heard of that one. That's a new one to me. That they gonna give you back $1,500 that you paid for it. Then why would you pay for it if they're gonna just give it back to you? What? I don't get that one. I've never heard that one. I don't get that one. VAWR Tech. Okay. Let's see. A social worker told me to apply because I was incompetent. A social worker at the VA told you to apply, or it's just a random social worker? Like somebody that you're saying from another office? Well, they're saying it, wait, you're incompetent? Do you have a diagnosis to go along with that? Or is this just something that she told you to do? Because I know, like I said, it gets confusing. It gets confusing. If this person is saying that you are so helpless by being incompetent, that you are so helpless that you need someone with you all the time, then I can see where you would need aid and attendance from that. But do you have a diagnosis from a doctor, a psychiatrist, someone to back that statement up? Because not only are they going to look at what they wrote on the 2680, which is the form the doctor needs to fill out for aid and attendance, they're going to send you to a CNP, because I just went through it. I just went through a 4-hour CNP, like what, 10 days ago. And it's a lot, bro, because I'm looking at going from where I am with the basic to another level. And it's not like a thing that they're going to just hand you, all right? Unless it's just something obvious, like you got limbs missing. Okay, that's a no-brainer. But if it's a case where the doctors is saying something, they're going to follow up and get a second opinion on that. They're not going to just take one doctor's word over. It's got to be something obvious. But my question to you is, do you have a medical diagnosis other than just a social worker telling you that? Let's see, you talking to Melvin? Did you talk to your primary doctor? Let's see. What's up, Mr. Book? How you doing? So yeah, with Melvin, because I think you said you applied as well. Yeah, you're the one that applied for both. So the first step to this is have the form filled out for aid and attendance. I forgot the first two numbers, but it's 2680. You can look it up online. I forgot what it was that quick, but you can look it up online. You need to have your doctor or your psychiatrist, someone in the medical profession, fill that form out. That's number one. They need to fill that form out. Without that form, dude, you're not going to go very far. Because if your own doctor doesn't agree that you need help, extra help, it's going to be tough sledding, because the VA depends on medical evidence. You need a doctor, psychiatrist, physical therapist, somebody to say that your disabilities are so disabling, you need the help of another person, and then they list your disabilities as to what you need. And the way they list disabilities is good and bad, and I'll explain that in a second. What's up, Eggplant? How you doing? VAS, I did. He wrote a letter for me for an appeal. VAS. You gotta help me with that acronym. What is VAS? Veterans Affairs, what? VAS. He did a letter for me to, so I'm assuming you're saying your doctor wrote you a letter to appeal. Because I'm confused a little bit with yours, because if you have a doctor that's saying that you need this, did the doctor fill out the form? Because if the doctor filled out the form and sent it in, then they should have sent you to a CNP. And if you went to a CNP and they denied it, then something that your doctor said didn't jive with what the rater found. So let me give you an example. Oh, he's talking to you. Okay. Because I'm confused. Okay. So let me give you guys an example of what I'm saying when the doctor writes up something that's good and bad. I'm going to use my own personal one for an example. When my doctor wrote up that I needed aid and attendance, the original time I needed aid and attendance, right? The doctor wrote up because of my feet, my ankles, my knees, and my back, I needed aid and attendance. That was good that they wrote it up, but it was also bad because the majority of my disabilities are feet, ankle, knee, and back, besides mental health. And remember what I told you guys in the last video, you got 50% or more, that moves you to the next level. If you got a single 100%, that moves you to a half. If you got a single 100%, that moves you to the next level. So instead of just being L, if they'd have just left my knees out, I would have been L and a half. But now that I'm moving up anyway, it's kind of a moot point. But it all depends on how they write it, what they write. They're going to send you to a CNP. They're going to verify, basically double check whatever it is, unless it's obvious. And that's how you end up getting awarded that disability. But it's not just a simple thing as I'm just going to apply and see what happens. You have to have a reason why you're applying. But if someone deems you incompetent, then there needs to be a medical professional that says yes and fill out that form and send it in. That carries way more weight than just someone says you need to apply and you have no medical evidence to support what you're saying. No, I was responding to the doctor did the form. Okay, so the doctor did the form and they still denied you? Wow. That's kind of unusual. Did you go to a Cnp exam? That's unusual. That doesn't normally happen. Was this a VA doctor that filled it out? Was it an outside doctor that filled it out? Because that normally doesn't happen. That's rarely I hear somebody getting a doctor to fill out the form that you have these issues, unless whatever they say the issues are not service connected. That's unusual. What's up, Mr. Miles? How you doing today? Let's see. How was your CNP exam? Long. My CNP exam, man, was over 4 hours. Cause both feet, both ankles, both knees, my back. Bro, I was there from 8 in the morning to a little afternoon. It was long, cause they start out, they're gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna explain how mine went here. Here in Colombia is where I had the test. I did not have to fly back to the States. It was done right here in Colombia. Okay, he started out asking me questions on each body part. Okay, started at the feet, ankles, knee, then back, and sciatica. So I was 5 different things that they checked. That whole process right there was almost 2 hours. And then I had to do the physical part, right, where they check everything. And he had a ruler. He had an actual measuring device. So can you do this? Can you do that? Can you push? Can you pull? Let's test your strength. Let's do it. Long. It was long, bro. That was the most thorough CNP exam I have ever taken. They never scheduled a CNP exam, VA doctor. Wow. Where are you at, Mr. Smith? What state are you in? If you're in the States or are you overseas? That is highly unusual, bro. Wow. So you had a doctor fill it out from the VA, and they just denied it flat out, never sent you to a CNP or anything. That is unusual. Is it okay to ask travel non-military question, or is that for your other channel? Wait, to ask travel? Yeah, you can ask whatever question you want, bro. I answer questions Bro, when I'm on my other channel, even on the comment section when I put a video out, somebody will still ask me a question about here. I'll just answer it over here, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wow, did they feed you at all? To see? No. No. I was just glad it was over, man. I'm serious. I got there on time at 7:55. He started exactly at 8 o'clock, and I did not get out of there till afternoon. It was over because the damn driver would call us. He's like, "You gonna be in? How much longer you got?" I was like, "I don't know." And I know we had 2 more to go. I'm thinking, okay, he just gonna breeze through the. No, that was the most thorough. I'm telling you guys, I had ever been through. Thorough. Florida. Man, I gotta tell you, bro, that's unusual. That is highly unusual. They never sent you to a CNP and they denied you on both. Wow. Yeah, you definitely, because the only way I can think of why they would do that, if it's something that's not service connected. That's it, man, because I've never heard that. That's a new one for me. I mean, unless you're applying for something you're not service connected for, that's the only way I can see them justifying that. Wow. They didn't even send you to a CNP. Most of the time, with that kind of issue, they're going to send you to a CNP exam to verify whatever the doctor's findings were. Because a matter of fact, with my CNP exam, he said my stuff was worse than even what the doctor said it was. So I'm still waiting to hear back on what they're going to do. All right, you guys got any other questions? Yeah, Melvin. Yeah, I definitely would appeal on that one, bro. Let's see. Do you think the poverty crime in Colombia is worse than in the DR? Ooh, yes. I would say yes, because you got far more people here than you got in the DR. And I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. Over the weekend on Saturday, I went to St. Lucas Plaza, which is right here in Poblado. I was inside when this actually happened. There was some guys that pulled up on a motorcycle to try to rob some people outside. The only reason it got stopped is because there was a politician there and he had armed guards. When the armed guards saw the guns, they pulled their guns and them guys took off, okay? Right now, during the holiday season, dude, it's been pretty crazy here because people are getting robbed left and right. You coming out of the mall, you by yourself, especially if you're female, no. And then traffic stops, late at night, gun, give me your wallet, give me your phone. They take off on the bike. So from my time in the DR, I've heard of things happening, but not to the degree that it happens here, because there's far more people here than it is in the DR. You talking about the DR as a whole is what, 10 million? There's 5 times as many people in this country that it is in the DR, dude. So yeah, it's far more that happens here than happens in the Dominican Republic. Is it me or all the disabled vets? What do you mean by that? Did I miss something you said earlier? I missed what you said. Let's see. VA apps are taking like 6. Oh yeah. It ain't just you. It's all vets. It's all vets, bro. It ain't just you. Yeah, it's taking a long time. You got to remember too, though, guys, that with some of our situations like mine, you remember last year, I flew to the States when everything was closed on a humanitarian flight just to do my CNP exam. And when I got there, the VA had just suspended all in-person exams. So they suspended my claim. My claim didn't get reopened until April of this year. My claim was actually supposed to have been done last year in July, but they suspended it. I don't know if you guys remember that. For those of you who had CNP exams where you needed to do a physical exam, the VA suspended all exams starting in July. I flew all the way back to the States for nothing. I don't know if you guys remember that, because I remember talking about that in a video. Right before I took my humanitarian flight back here to Colombia. That was a complete waste of time going to the States. What else we got here? Let's see. What's up, Markel? It's been a while. I've been dealing with my family issues. This is Camp. What's up, Camp? I missed some of the SMC questions. Sorry, I'm 100% PNT. Thanks to you. But did you mention something about ED? Yes, I had a guy, I think it was DN, who asked a question about applying for ED with 100% PNT, and he was only had PNT status, for 3 years. And I can't answer that for you guys who want to apply for ED, okay? That's a personal thing you got to take up, because you're talking about getting another $118. Now, I can tell you in my case, when I got awarded ED, it was from the medications that I got prescribed by my doctor. My doctor and my pharmacist both wrote in my medical file that this was probably going to cause me issues, right? And I took that down to the office, to Comp and Pen, and within 3 or 4 months, I was awarded ED just like that. And that's because of the medication that I'm taking. Now, I don't know what the situation is with a lot of you guys who are applying. Some people have this issue because of PTSD. Some have it just like I did for medication. Some have it for other issues, whether it's pain or whatever it may be. They may have an issue with kidneys or whatever. I don't know. But I know in my case, you know, my doctors and my psychiatrists wrote up my situation. So, but if you're applying, that's a personal decision. You're talking about gaining an extra $118 a month. And I would just say, make sure you got medical evidence to back up what you're saying. Let's see. At the DCDA Med Center, my psych and primary care are booked till April 2020. Damn. Okay, in your situation, bro, you remember that little white card they gave us? It's been a few years ago. What's it called now? Because Trump changed the name. It used to be, I can't think of the name. Trump changed the name of it, but it's like a community-based service, right? They tried to make it sound like it was new. It ain't new. It's been around for years. I would call that 800 number. I can't remember the name of it. And they would outsource what you need to a doctor that's in your city. If somebody can think of the name of what I'm talking about, because they gave out these little white cards, it's like community-based care. When you can't get an appointment and you need to see someone right away, instead of waiting for the VA because they can't give you an appointment, you would call this 800 number. That 800 number would then find someone in the city or near the city that you're in for you to go get care. I cannot think of the name of it, man. But I remember the little white card, and I remember Donald Trump changing the name of the service, taking credit for it as if it was new. It wasn't new. He just changed the name, and then I think he added something to it. I can't remember the name of it, though. About ED for SMC. Yeah. Let's see. Colombia seems more advanced with technologies and infrastructure, but in some ways it makes people hungry to get what everyone else has. Yes, Colombia is very advanced, dude, when it comes to medicine, when it comes to care. Now, I'm still skeptical with some things, which is why I have the insurance I have, because community care. Yeah, choice program. Y'all got it. Call choice program, bro. They should get you someone in your community within that time frame. Every time I used it in Yuma, they got me somebody right away. It was easy. Usually the next day or the following day, they were able to find someone because they got contracts everywhere. What was that about Colombia? Yeah, now Colombia, very advanced, man. Most, not all, but almost every doctor I've seen here speaks English. Most of them have their education from somewhere in the States. The doctor that I saw with the Cnp exam, he had 3 different degrees, all came from the States. The last one he had came from the University of Arizona. So it's not like they don't know what's what. And as far as like MRIs, they got open MRIs here, just like they got them in the States. What else did I do? The electric test, the test that you do to check your nerves. What is it called? Man, I can't think of the name. I'm sorry. My memory with some of this stuff is bad. But the electric test that you take for your the nerve conduction study. I can't think of the name of the machine, but they have that here as well. Prosthetic devices, like my knee braces, they have something similar. There are going to be some things that's going to have to come from the States. And you can easily get it delivered here from the States. So for those of you that has 10 units that you get from pain management, right? I just had to have 2 replaced. They got them both. And because I'm service connected and I needed them, FMP approved for them to buy them right here, and I was able to get them. So That's where service connections when you're overseas come in handy, because if I did not have service connections and I needed those TENS units, I had to pay out of pocket for them. Thank you, everyone. Great response, very helpful. Okay, let's see. I missed the last question about the new enrollment time frame. It hasn't. Okay, so if you've been awarded a new disability, whether it's 0 or whatever, they're going to give you the opportunity to get new life insurance. I'm sure you guys who've gotten recent claims approved got a letter telling you, because you got this new claim, you can now enroll in life insurance. But for all of you who don't, and you don't plan on filing anything, you're going to have to wait till 2023. That's when the new policy is going to roll out for the VA, and everybody's going to get the opportunity to apply. But if you have a claim that was recently awarded, you're going to get the opportunity to enroll in life insurance. Okay, I'm glad you discussed the overwhelming poverty you saw abroad. There are great advantages traveling abroad, but all this escaping the matrix, blah, 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 and how bad life is in the U.S. is a no. Yeah, man, look, I'm going to tell you like this, man, because, you know, you hear that a lot, and I understand some people's reasoning for saying what they say about the United States of America, because the U.S. is not perfect. No country is perfect. Every country has issues. There's no utopia anywhere in this world. Is there a utopia? We all got issues. And while some people choose to lead the states may be different than others, I'm going to keep it 100 with you all like I always do. I left the United States of America. It wasn't because I hated America. I hated my situation in America. I couldn't get women, that type of, none of that. I left the United States of America because a caregiver in the Dominican Republic, a caregiver here, is far less than what it would cost me in the US. Don't believe me? Look up a service where they come to your home, clean your home, take care of you 5 to 7 days out of the week, and see what it would cost you. Because in my situation, for the service that I needed at the time, it was running me $4,000 to $4,500 a month, $4,000 to $4,500 a month. Versus here, similar care here is not even $800 a month. That's why I left the U.S. Had nothing to do with any of those other issues people are talking about. None whatsoever. When I tell people I left for healthcare, oh man, you there for the women. That's where stupidity comes in. That's what they're here for. Because you got to understand, everybody's mind works different. Everybody has different reasons for why they do different things. The majority of the people that you hear online are jealous, they're trolling, because they got nothing better to do. But when they tell you they hate the U.S., they can't stand the U.S., I always challenge them. Denounce your citizenship. If you think the U.S. is so bad, denounce your citizenship. No longer be a U.S. citizen, become a citizen in the country that you're in. See how long it lasts. None of them will do that. You got to understand, who said that? The warrior? Who said that? No, Eggplant. They can talk all day. That's the beauty of the United States of America. You got the right to say whatever you want. Say something like that about the Philippines and let them see it and see if you're still allowed to go back into the Philippines. I bet you to say no. See, people can talk all day long, though. You got to just block it out. Just block it out, because a lot of them are very ignorant of what they're saying. They want to blame the U.S., but yet they want the benefits of that blue passport. They want the money that comes from the U.S. because of the value of the money that comes from the U.S. But yet, they want to tell you all these negative things about the U.S. And again, the U.S. is not perfect. Not making excuses at all. It's not perfect. Everywhere has issues, just like here. They got issues here. They got issues in the DR. There's nowhere you're going to go they don't have issues. But when they start bashing where they're from, challenge them. Tell them to denounce their citizenship. Watch they change the subject. Well, I'm not going to denounce. I worked there for 20 years. You say it's so bad. You claim it's so bad in America. Have nothing to do with America. Cut everything off from the States. They won't do that. That just lets you know they're more talk than they are action. Let's see. Man, I'm worried if they don't give me appointments, they may take away, they're not going to take away your PNT. Let's see. I don't want to come up as a veteran who's not going for medical treatment. I have KP insurance, and that's where I go for my appointments. Okay, but yeah, they're not going to take that away, bro. Not for that. I mean, if you're trying and they see you've been trying, because every time you call the VA, it gets documented. You call them trying to get an appointment. Well, we ain't got no appointments till April. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. But I'm telling you, dude, they got it in here. Community care, the choice program, that's what you need to do. Call that number. They'll have you an appointment right away. Yep, community care, choice program, let's see. It's like a kid in Beverly Hills, whine and complain about losing his silverware. Yo, dude, don't let people, when you guys seeing shows like that, man, just know they're just talking. They're just talking. Because not one of them will denounce their citizenship. Not a one. They can say all that noise all day long. I pay them no attention. You know, they call it America KKK or the Matrix and all that. Cool, let them call it whatever they want to call it. The moment you tell them, denounce your citizenship, go to the U.S. Embassy and tell them you no longer wish to be a U.S. citizen. They'll never do that. They'll never do that. Because how they going to survive? You think they going to get a job in the country that they in, making $4 a day, $7 a day? They just talking. Veterans choice, yep. Let's see. Insurance is very important when traveling abroad. Amazing, almost no other YouTuber will discuss it. Too busy using creep cams. Yeah, man. You know why they don't discuss it? Eggplant, they don't have it. It's hard to talk about something you don't have. So you know what, man? It used to bother me to hear a lot of these people saying things, and then I realized, you know what, man, they're just providing entertainment to people who have nothing to do. That's all they're doing. Because anything of value, they never talk about anything of value. They just talk about things that gets people excited and want to come over here. But what value does it hold? None. You come over here, you get in trouble, they don't know the first person to call. They don't know the number to the embassy. They don't even know the emergency number here in the country. So that's why I was like, you know, this is just entertainment. These guys are just talking. Don't take it serious, bro. They just talking. I'm worried if they don't give me appointments, then let's see. They may take PNT away. I don't want to think on. I read that one already. They're not gonna take your PNT, bro. Not for stuff like that. No, that's not your fault. Let's see, Mr. Chance, I'm 100% PNT too, but if you have proper evidence, that is to show, there shouldn't be a problem. Correct. If you got, that's why I mentioned, you know, my doctor wrote up this, that, and that. You got the evidence, you know, being PNT doesn't matter. Let's see, I had a Cnp exam for ED only. Entire process took about a month. No issues. Your choice. Yeah, that is a personal choice. If you want to apply, I appreciate you writing that, Mr. Chance. That's what it boils down to, a lot of this stuff, guys. Do you have the medical evidence? That's what it boils down to. Like when I went to the Cnp exam, the man literally told me, this is worse than what the doctor wrote. So I'm like, yo, I know it's bad. So I wasn't tripping like this Cnp exam. They may say I have this and that. No, if you know what your issues are, and they know, because he knew, he's looking at my file. He just wanted to see if I would tell him the truth. I told him pretty much everything that was in my file. Because it's not like I'm lying. They can look at my legs and see I ain't lying. So that's the thing, man, is medical evidence. Let's see. America is the country that accepts all the flaws, come in, you, and still provide for. Yo, people have come to the States with nothing. Got stores, own all kinds of whatever. People just talking, bro. Just let them talk. Will said, get rid of your horrible USA passport, get rid of your horrible US dollar, and try to get a job like one of the locals. They ain't doing that. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Eggplant, man. Don't take what these cats say literally. They're just talking. It's just entertainment. Okay? Like I said, I've met plenty of people in the Dominican Republic. To this day, You meet them, oh, you just came from the America KKK. Call it whatever you want. But if it comes down to it and they go, okay, you got a choice. You either move back to the States or you stay here in this country and we're not going to send you one dime. What do you think they're going to do? They're going back to what they call the KKK. They're not staying in that country. Guaranteed, if the U.S. were to pass a law tomorrow for all these people on here bashing the United States of America, and they say, if you either come back to the States, well, we still gonna pay you, or you stay in the country you in with no support from the United States of America, what do you think they're gonna do? Let's see, after a few years living like that, they would probably run across the border themselves. Damn right. Back to the U.S., you damn right. It's the Warren Buffett of the VA. No. Let's see, you can call them from anywhere. I like that at the Warrior. Let's see, y'all caught when I am driving, but I'm listening. I pull over the text. Okay, Mr. Collin, don't get yourself in no trouble, man. Bro, like I said, man, no country is perfect. Nowhere you go is perfect. All these countries have issues, right? You have to navigate your way through things, through life, right? You can't just blame everything that happened to you on everybody in the United States. Everybody didn't do that to you, okay? That's a particular group that may have happened to you, and I'm sorry it happened to them, whatever it was, but you can't go blame everybody for something that happened to you. But as far as those guys go, man, when they start talking about stuff like that, I'll watch something else. Or if I'm sitting with somebody and they start talking like that, I get up and I gotta bounce. But I ain't trying to hear that dude, because I know where my bread is buttered, as the saying goes. I know where my money comes from. I know without that blue passport, I wouldn't be here. I know that being disabled, you think I could be in this country? Take somebody that's here in Colombia, right? You think they gonna get the same type of money you get from the States to live, or equal here to live the way you live now? No, 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 they're not. You think they're gonna have the same opportunities that you have? Come on, man. No, they're not. They're not. You have people who live, work here, they get a pension. What kind of pension you think they get? You think they get enough here in pension? Because depending on the job that they got to live on here, man, please. These people get a pension and they still continue to work because it ain't enough. It might be the equivalent of $99, maybe $100. That's what they're gonna get a month. That ain't enough to live on. And you got people who only income stream is Social Security and VA in these different countries talking crap about the country that's paying them. Let a new generation of politicians come up and hear these clowns bashing the United States of America. And I'm telling you, they're gonna come up with a policy. Okay, you think we that bad? Here's your options. Come back here or stay where you at with no support. What do you think they're gonna bitch, they're gonna moan, they're gonna complain, but they taking their butt right back to the States. As a matter of fact, let something happen. What they gonna do while they're here? First person they're gonna call is the embassy. They ain't calling a lawyer here in Colombia. They ain't got no money. Who you think they calling? I need to call the embassy. That's what they gonna call. I need to get America on the phone. That's what they gonna call. So as they talk all that crap, man, understand the mindset of these people. They're saying that because they got the opportunity to say it. But as far as taking it anywhere else, they're not gonna go anywhere else with that, but just talk. When you have two passports, you can take them both and use them any way you want when you travel. Yes, sir. You have the option. That's why I want a second passport. So there may be countries before Brazil changed their policy and let Americans come in now without having to have a visa. In Colombia, I become a Colombian citizen. I can go to Brazil with just my driver's license. Don't even need a passport. Same thing with Argentina. Same thing with Chile. That's the difference, man. It's like Americans going to Mexico. You don't need a passport to go to Mexico. You just need a driver's license. That's it. Or take your birth certificate. You can walk right into Mexico. Most of the time when you're going into Mexico, unless you're going to Tijuana, if you go on the Yuma side, you can walk right into Los Algodones. Ain't nobody gonna say a word. The only time you need ID is when you leave in Mexico going back to the US side. They want to see some ID. But going into Mexico, you can walk right in. The same thing here. When you have passports from other countries, they have privileges, because some people seem to think that the United States is the only country that has these different privileges where you can do certain things. No, these countries have their privileges as well. That's the difference. And also, you always want a backup plan, right? Next year, I plan on flying to Panama just to get that lifetime visa, pension visa in Panama. I'm never gonna live in Panama, but if you're gonna give me a lifetime visa that I ain't never gotta renew, that I'm only gotta pay one time to get, that's somewhere else I can go in case I decide, you know what, I don't wanna be here no more, I ain't ready to go back to the States. You know what, I got this pension visa from Panama. Let me go hang out in Panama for a while. That's the way I look at it, dude. I look at every opportunity I get to get something, and that visa from Panama is for life. That's for life. You pay one time and it's yours. Why not get it? Let's see. I got ED approved because of meds. Same thing from the VA, like Markel. I use the DAV in North Carolina because they're very experienced being near Fort Bragg. There you go. Yeah, I got same thing as that medication, man. Let's see. I'm 100% PNT, suffer from service-connected chest wall pain, not associated with a heart condition. My doctor wants to prescribe, then I gotta read the rest of it somewhere. Let's see. Did you like Mexico? Yeah, Mexico is cool. I stayed in Playa del Carmen for a while. I stayed in Cancun for a while. I went to Mexico City, Tijuana, of course, Los Algodones. Damn, I forgot the one right there where Love and Freedom's at. Oh man, my memory is just shot. But I went to the other little town right there where Love and Freedom lives, San Luis. Been there as well. So Mexico is cool, man. You know why Mexico is cool? You only need your passport. Matter of fact, you don't even need your passport. You can stay in Mexico 6 straight months, leave one day, go right back in for the next 6 months. You don't need nothing else. Leave one day, come right back. There's so much English being spoken in Mexico. You go to Cancun, it's just like you're in the States. Everybody you talk to damn near speaks English. Same way in Playa del Carmen. That's where all the expats live, in Playa del Carmen. They don't live in Cancun. Mexico City was cool. Everybody knows about Tijuana. I'm not a real big fan of Tijuana. I went because I stayed in San Diego for a while, and that was the one place you could go and hang out. But Los Algodones was cool, and so was San Luis. You know, it's just keeping your wits about you, not going over there trying to do nothing crazy. I'm not a drinker. I don't do no drugs, nothing like that. So I always was cool when I went to these places. And about the 5th time I went, I started learning more Spanish. I was able to better communicate with people when I was there. So the language part is a huge help. Let's see, prescribe me an antidepressant that's good for pain and anxiety. Not sure about antidepressants and side effects. Okay, Mr. Jones. Yeah, you might want to read up on that and check to see if there are any side effects. Let's see, they talk all crap, but at the end of the day, it's Uncle Sam that's saving them. Like I said, bro, let them get in trouble. The first phone call is to the embassy. They ain't calling no local lawyer. They calling the embassy. BWR Tech. Is that what you think I called the name of this? I don't know what you mean by that one. Let's see. The Creep Cam Sicko said the only reason he loves the DR so much is because he gets to teach English and can sleep with as many of his students. That's just a pervert, dude. That's you know what? That's somebody that wouldn't even be welcome in the U.S. It's a pervert. Try to do that mess in the States and see what happened to him. He already been in prison. Let's see. I have 2 USA passports. Let's see. I have 2 US. You have 2 US passports? One for 4 years, one for 10 years. You can travel with both, but you don't want customs seeing you with both in your hand. Yeah, I'm about to say, keep one in your bag and the other one. Okay, I got you. Because I'm like, 2 passports. How you managed to get 2 passports? Salute. What's up, Howard? How's it going, man? He also did a live stream smoking on cam before he went to teach English. Shaking my head, I was shocked. I was surprised people like that can be allowed to even get a. Yeah, dude, there's no type of like test you need to take or anything to get a U.S. passport. That's what's great about America, though, dude, and was also like, because you're letting somebody like that out in the world and people see this person. And then when you should think, okay, if he's like that, then that means other people that look like him are the same way. That's the assumption a lot of people make. Because if you combine television and what America shows on television, usually it's crime in Florida, and it's usually people that look like me committing the crimes, and then you get somebody like that on YouTube talking like that, the first thing you would say, well, a lot of them are just criminals, huh? That's the assumption that people make until they get to know you and they meet you and they see we're not monolithic. We're not all the same. So people like that, dude, I just dismiss. But you got to understand, he has a large following probably. There's a lot of people that watch that crap, that like stuff like that. Look at it for entertainment. He's just a clown that wouldn't even be he's somebody that would probably already be in jail in the States. A passport card is good to have. 2, I will definitely get the Panama Visa after I get married. I'm telling you guys, man, that is hard to pass up, and I am definitely getting it. And I'm telling you guys, man, it's for life. It's not like this situation here, because come March of next year, I got to renew it here. And it's probably going to cost me another $500-$600 to renew it, hopefully for another 3 years. With the Panama Visa pension, you pay one time. It's for life. So next year, I definitely plan on going to Panama just to get that visa. That's the only reason I'm going, is to get that visa. Yeah, I've been to Canada. I've been to Toronto, and I've been to this one city called Regina. I know it's not, but it's called Regina. That's the actual name. Google it. That's the actual name. Crap. I shouldn't have done that because I lost where I was. Okay. Let's see. What's up, Mr. B? How you doing? I answered your question earlier. Let's see. Yeah, that's why I didn't know you could have 2 passports at the same time from the States. No, you can show both the passports. You can't? I didn't even know you could get 2 passports. Let's see. Canada is nice, especially Toronto. A lot of Asians live in Toronto. Also in December, the mall there is the busiest in the world. Wow. And all that snow, man, I was so cold in Canada, it was ridiculous. It's because of Israel, you're allowed to have 2 passports. That's normal. Wow. Man, my renewal come up. I didn't know that. I'm gonna get 2. Let's see, much respect, Markel, love your channel. I don't think it's a salute. All right, man, appreciate that. VA sent me a Cnp exam, and the VA then left a message today stating not to show up. It's a record review. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. Don't get it. I have an exam 6 days later. Okay, I don't know what your rating is, Mr. B. I don't know if you're 100% or not. But I do know this. If you're not 100%, you have periodic reviews of your claim, of your disability, okay? Not that anything's wrong. This is just required by law. So say someone's 70%. They've been 70% for 15 years. If you go to e-benefits and you look in your historical history of claims, you're gonna see where they've done reviews of your claim through the years. You're like, I've never done this. I've never done this. It's them going over your medical file. This is required by law. So That may be what's going on. I don't know. I'm just guessing that's what they're doing. But that's a strong possibility. I don't know if you're 100% or not, because if you're not, I guarantee you that's what they're doing. Let's see. Have you guys thought about, what is this? Oh, Puerto Rico? I've only been to San Juan. I drove through a couple small towns there, but I don't know anything about it. 26,000 US dollars in Puerto Rico? I don't know about that, man. You know, I'm not big on telling people to travel with very little. But Puerto Rico is part of the US, so that's a little different in Puerto Rico. You can get away with a lot more in Puerto Rico than you can here in some of these other countries with low income. So, you know, it's US territory, so you're able to do a lot more things in Puerto Rico than you can ever do here. But man, let me just say this to y'all, man. I'm being 100% serious. Do not travel to these countries with little or no money. Please don't do that. Don't do that, man. I hate filming people on the streets begging, but if you guys keep with these low numbers trying to come to these countries and think you're gonna be fine on $1,200, $1,500, I'm gonna start recording Americans in the streets, like here in Colombia, begging. Cause y'all don't get it, man. People have come here $5,000, $10,000 with a dream of opening a business. The business goes belly up, they got no other money and no plan. What do? They go to the street. They beg, or they try to move in with other expats here. So I'm telling you guys, man, I cannot put this out there enough. Don't go somewhere with little to no money expecting that a fantasy that you have is gonna come true. Because unless you plan on living like the locals, and when I'm saying living like the locals, you should research how the locals really live in these countries. Because some of you guys are just way off base thinking you're gonna come here with $1,500 and live this fantasy life that these YouTubers are telling you guys about. There's no way, bro. There's no way. First incident that happens, then what? First time something goes wrong that's not according to plan, then what? I'm telling you guys, man, there's been too many times. Matter of fact, even here, I had a situation happen. I had to pay $300 out of pocket for something. I ain't gonna really say what it was, but I had to spend $300 out of pocket for something. I had it readily available. You come here with that little to no money, that situation happened, you're gonna be on the streets. I'm just saying, man, y'all can't take these YouTubers that serious, especially when you're talking about leaving your home country, coming to a country that's considered a developing country, and think you're gonna live like the locals, and you've never lived like the locals in the United States of America. Most of you all have no idea what locals go through here to start their day, how far out from the city they are, the conditions that they live in, how freaking cold it is where they are, coming here with no heater, no hot water, no nothing. And you think you're gonna do the same thing coming from the States, and you ain't never done it before. That is a fantasy. Damn, lost where I was. Way too far. Sorry, lost my spot. Okay. What's up, D Trotter? How you doing, man? What's going on, brother? How long is that process to get that Panama Visa? You know what? I forgot, to be honest. I gotta ask Urban about that, but I know it ain't that long because I think Uncle Alan just got it too. Remember last year, Uncle Alan went to Panama in September, and the only reason he went was to get that visa. I gotta ask them. I want to say it's not very long. I want to say like a month or two, and I forgot how much it was and whether you're using a lawyer or not. I don't even care because you're only paying one time. Hell, it could be $2,000. I can care less. I'm only having to pay one time to get this visa for life. I'm good. I went to Montreal during the summertime. Best time to go. Felt super safe. Great time. Yeah, you want to go during the summer, man, because it's cold in Canada. Do you need a Panama lawyer to handle a retirement visa? I believe you do. unless you're going to try to go through the embassy in the States. At which point, though, I think you still got to go to Panama for something. I forgot exactly how it goes. Urban did a video on this channel talking about it. Matter of fact, I may bring him back to go back into more details about it, but I know it's for life. I remember that part. Funny there was two married clowns that bragged about how you can live in the DR, $700, man, come on, a month. Surprise, surprise, they now moved to Europe after only a few. I keep telling y'all, man, think about how many people y'all have seen here in Colombia, in the Dominican Republic, in Brazil, in the Philippines, all these countries. Oh man, come here, it's great, it's wonderful, it's cheap. 2 years later, man, I got bored, da da da. It ain't because they bored, they have no money. You can't live on those $700, man. I guess they got tired of the lavish lifestyle. It was lavish, all right. Let's see, Philippines offer retirement visa too. I'm on the fence between that place or Panama. Okay, Jay Clark, or Mr. Clark. Now, there's something about the Philippines visa that was different. Don't they want didn't they want like 20,000 or 30,000 in the bank or something like that? I remember something like that. I remember looking that up. It was like a SRRV or SVVR retirement visa in the Philippines, and they wanted you to put I want to say it's $20,000 or $30,000 in the bank, unless you were retired military. Then there was something else you could do. I forgot how all it goes, but there was some kind of money they want you to put in the bank, in their bank. I was thinking about Canada might be cool for a short vacation since it's so close to the East Coast. Okay, I can't do Canada, man. That's too cold, bro. I thought about it, man. I had a girl there. She was cool, but it's too cold in Canada for me, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. Oh, that's in Europe. Okay. Let's see. Montreal. Okay, it's too cold in Canada for me though, bro. Let's see. Yeah, I am 120 years. Okay, Mr. B. So yeah, I honestly, man, I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what records they're checking. Because normally that's what they're checking for people who are less than 100, and they're doing an exam of your records, usually because they're not P&T status. But in your instance, yeah, I have no idea what that is. Montreal, I went to Toronto, never been to Montreal, and Regina. I went to those two. At least 5K minimum before you can even think. Thank you. Who is that? The Warrior. Man, here I wouldn't come without 5K minimum. You out of your mind coming here less than 5. That's my personal opinion. Living here on less than 5K, no. Can't do it. Can't do it. I've seen too many situations here, heard too many horror stories, seen people get stuck in situations they can't get out of because they ain't got no money. Man, I'm telling y'all, dude. People always want to throw out these low numbers and make it sound so great, but they are never here long term. They off somewhere else. Don't believe me? Go find a YouTuber that was here, your favorite YouTuber that was here, telling you to move here, and look where they are now. Look where they are now. They ain't here. I can tell you that. They're not here. Because you need money to live in these countries, man. I don't care what they tell you they rent. You need money to live in these countries. Let's see. The 4-year passport secondary is approved for business travelers. If you send your primary passport with a visa request to another country, or the process, you can use your second. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for that information, Mr. Chance. Didn't know that. Let's see. I see some YouTubers starting to stay away. If you do not have the money or correction with the locals to stay in the United States. I Yeah, bro, you need money here, bro, Mr. B. You can't, man, look, anybody can come here and tell you guys anything for 6 months, a year, build up a following. That's normally what they do. They come, they build up this huge following, bragging about the country. How good the country is, how cheap the country is. A year later, year and a half later, they in another country. Well, what happened to the utopia in Colombia? Oh, I had this issue, I had that issue. You know what they got issues? No plata, no money. A bunch of manidosos, liars. They're not gonna stay in these places. They're gonna tell you everything you need to hear, except when you go back and check, they somewhere else now. If you travel to Israel, you want them to stamp your secondary passport, not your primary. These are the other countries not friendly to Israel. You don't want Israel stamped on your primary passport. Wow, okay, Mr. Chance, for security reasons. Okay. Yep. IDC about pay. I don't care. Okay. But I'm going to get that. But I'm going to look at his chapter. Okay. Yeah, I don't care. When it say for life, that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear, bro. You gonna give me a visa where I can enter your country anytime I want. I don't even have to live there. I can just come in and out at will. That's just like the States. You come in and out whenever you want in the States, right? I'm gonna do the same thing with just bounce in and out. That's for life, bro. For life. Let's see. Most veterans don't understand. They no longer are under statute, foreign agreements. You are out there. You're not there on government status. Yeah, no, you're not. Hell no. You're just a regular person. You need 50,000 to get a Philippine visa for retirement. Yeah, I knew it was some number. I couldn't remember what it was, but there are like an exception, Mr. Clark. I think it's if you're retired military or retired something in the States. I don't think you have to pay that. I think it's a much smaller amount. But I remember you had to put some kind of money in the Philippine bank for retirement. Let's see. I can never pronounce the Canadian city. Never want to try to sound like it. Saying, so I don't even try. Yo, it's Regina. All right, warrior. Going back to work. Freaking, I have overtime during the holiday. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Make that money while you can. Make that money. Hey, but happy holidays to you. Let's see. When I was broke, I stayed home. I don't know why broke people feel like they should be going out and traveling and living abroad. Bro, I don't know if you caught this in the last video. There's a cat here on unemployment. I want y'all to hear me. He's trying to live here on unemployment. Unemployment. I'm like, dude, I wanted to say you got to be one of the dumbest MFs I ever met, but I just like, okay, man, good luck to you. Plan to stay with Markel. Plan A, stay with Markel. Plan B, stay with Markel. Plan C, see my way back home. All right, Mr. Collins. Stay home and save your money. Let's see, make sure you visit all the Mideast countries you want first before you hit Israel. Wow, it's that bad in the Middle East, man? Wow. They got that much hate for Israel? Jesus. Let's see, U.S. government is so backdated with servers that I'm upgrading 2003 servers to 2021. It's as if they were waiting for me to upgrade their systems. Is it me or everyone else has to put extra hours for basic pay? Yeah, man, my sister's going through the same thing, man. It's pretty backed up. It is. You're not the only one going through it. Let's see. Reasons for getting a USA passport approved. Business travels, traveling to countries not friendly toward other countries. For those countries, have them stamp your secondary passport. Okay, Mr. Chan's dropping that knowledge on you guys. What's up, Mr. Mafia? AKA, let's see, I believe one can have a regular passport and a diplomat. Yeah, Mr. Chance is talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Mr. Chance is going over there now. Let's see. If you are a U.S. vet, the visa is about $1,500. Is that for the Philippines? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Smith? Mr. Collins be able to change to it. Right, Jesse, with a DD-214 and proof of pension. Is that for the Philippines that y'all talking about right now? Markel, look up Malaysia. It has way cost of living. I'm guessing you're saying way low cost of living for retirees, and English is the main language, no language barrier. Okay. Which country are you guys talking about for $1,500 with a DD-214? Is that, I'm curious to know what country that is. Where you only spend $1,500. Is that Panama, the Philippines, or what? I don't see anybody answering that one yet. Yes, Philippines. So with a DD-214, you only need $1,500. The visa is only $1,500 for former Filipino citizens. US, you have to have that 50 stack if you're under 50 years old. Wow, okay. The visa is only $1,500 for former, okay, I read that one. If you are a veteran, have an ID card, I suggest you put that card in your shoe traveling abroad. Yeah, I don't even pull mine out. I keep mine with my passport, man. I keep them hidden. I don't even pull them out. My ID card, the only card I use here is my Colombian ID, and I'll take that passport card with me if I know I'm going somewhere sketchy, right? I'll have that passport card because the passport card and your passport have two different numbers. The book has one number, the card has a different number, right? Because the card is for land, boat, that type of thing, where the book is for air travel and all the above. So they have two different numbers. So if I lose the land one, no big deal, but I don't want to lose that book. Let's see, if you're a veteran, you don't want to lose your ID card, man. But that is, so DD-214, over 50 years old, which I'm not yet, DD-214 and $1,500. How long is that good for? How long is that good for in the Philippines? Yeah, so he says Philippines over 50, DD-214 and a pension, $1,500. You need proof of income, not necessarily a pension. How much income do you need to prove in the Philippines? Anybody know how much income do you need to show? I forgot how much it was for Panama as well, but I'm sure most of you guys qualify anyway for whatever it is. That's just like here, you only need, it went down, $730. That's it for a pension visa here. Let's see. Mr. B, I don't have a veteran's card, but I keep a redacted copy of my DD-214. Okay. Proof of income. Let's see. Wait for my VA card now. Okay. Let's see. You don't have to be retired U.S. military, just a U.S. vet. Thank you for correct. I thought you had to be retired military, but it's just a U.S. vet. So you guys, here we go. You want to go to the Philippines and retire. Over 50, DD-214, $1,500. I could not live off that monthly for food. No, I think that's just the bare minimum you need to show. Let's see, if you're over 50, you need $10,000 in the bank and $800 a month for the Philippines. Okay. I knew there was something about money in the bank. Ever seen homeless senior citizens abroad? Or are they mainly young? No. You get them all here, bro. If like in Parque Years, there's a vet that's currently in Parque Years. He been here for years, heavily on drugs. Heavily on drugs. He'll sit there and talk to you for hours. He'll tell you he ain't got nowhere to live. He take all his money every month. Like, what, in a couple weeks, it'd be the first of the month. He'll spend it all on drugs. He gotta be mid-50s, early 60 years old. You see it all here, dude. There's cats, look, no lie. We were in Mallorca, headed to Mallorca in Sabaneta. American out there on the street with a sign, begging. Wrote it in Spanish. I'm looking at the dude like, this dude ain't Colombian. Is he Venezuelan? And then I gave him a couple of, he was like, man, you give me a little bit more than that, can't you? Help me out. I'm like, dude, you American? You out here begging? Dude, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand, man. People tell y'all stuff, dude, on YouTube so you can watch to get them clicks. But real talk, there's homeless people here, just like everywhere else. Americans, just like everywhere else. I've seen older folks, yes, yep. Most shows at least 1,000 in income. It can be a pension or some other income. Okay, lots of older cats in the Philippines who can't get back to the States. They here too, bro. They here too. They are here as well. I'm telling you, people come from listening to other people, give them a song and a dance, and unfortunately, reality kicks in, that fantasy that they're dreaming of, because the thing when you live overseas, you got to understand, this ain't the States. Cats come with the U.S. mindset. Okay, I'm going to start this business. I'm going to charge this. I'm going to charge that. They don't get it. What you would charge $10 at McDonald's, most people here ain't paying $1 for that whole meal. So the money that you think you're going to make coming from the States, you ain't making that here. What do you think? You think people here are going to spend $150 for Jordans? Real? Where they can go to El Centro and get a fake pair for $5? No, dude. It don't work like that here. That's why I keep telling y'all, man. When you decide to live abroad, go visit first. Go visit, see if it's somewhere you actually want to live, where you can afford to live in the area you want to be in. Because too many come on vacation and they confuse their vacation with living here. Because where you at on vacation, unless you plan on staying in a hotel for the next 30, 40 years of your life, that's not where you're going to live when you come to these places. You're going to have to get an apartment. And if you're going to live in apartments like this, you need money. You ain't coming over here for $1,500 to do what? And do what? What kind of life you think you're going to have? You thought it was bad in the States, okay? Coming from the U.S., you think it's bad in the States. The poorest in the States got it good. Got it real good compared to the poorest here. Oh, night and day difference. Let's see, lots of older cats. Yeah, they stuck in it, can't go back. Wow, I thought maybe there were a few here and there, but had no idea there were so many homeless. Never seen any YouTubers show homeless Americans. They don't want to show them because that, you got to think about it, bro. If I'm telling you, you come here and live on $1,200, but I'm showing you homeless Americans in the street, obviously you can't live on that, right? You guys got to distinguish who's on vacation, who's actually living in the country. That's the biggest difference. That's the distinction. Because cats come here, you can stay here 6 months and say anything. Oh yeah, man, I'm living on da-da-da. I've been living here since da-da-da. No. 6 months later, they're in another country. Well, I left because I needed a vacation. That ain't why you left. You're not a citizen here. You're not a resident here. Let's see. If I cannot live abroad and eat my black, what, Angus? Count me out. Eat your black Angus. Let's see, if the YouTubers show the homeless American, it breaks the illusion that you can live a lavish life for cheap. They're not going to show it. And there's tons of them, dude. People who live overseas, who live abroad, actually live in these countries, will tell you. There's homeless Americans all over the place, bro. There's homeless Americans in the DR right there in the Conde. For all of you all going to the DR, a lot of those cats that you all see on the Conde that's American are homeless. I know y'all don't believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. A lot of those cats that you guys see in the DR, in Santo Domingo, on El Conde, speaks perfect English. And I'm not talking about the ones that got kicked out because they don't have status in the United States. I'm talking about people who look like me, living in the DR on the streets. They stand in the Malacones, sleeping on them park benches, or they down in them caves, or they just out walking around all night, waiting on gringos to come by and give them a sob story so they can bring them shirts, they can bring them shoes, and hand them money. That's a fact. Anybody's living in the DR any length of time or know that area anytime, in any kind at all, will tell you, yes, there are homeless Americans there. Let's see. Hell, now that I think about it, is some of these YouTubers that might be homeless themselves. Couch surfing, bro. These guys come, and again, I got nothing to this their lifestyle, bro. The only issue I have with YouTubers coming on talking about stuff like that is the young people who watch their channel and then just give up. Because this is their favorite YouTuber telling them, okay, I've been living and traveling on a bus on $1,000 US through Mexico or through the DR or through Canada. As a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, you hear that crap and you're thinking, oh, okay, all I need to do is just get on YouTube and I can live. That's the fantasy, because this is what these people are teaching them. They're not telling them, man, you need to establish yourself. You need to build your credit. You need to save you some money. You need to have an emergency plan. YouTubers don't tell them that, dude. The YouTuber's only interested in entertainment. And instead of saying, you know what, I only did this because I got all this behind me, I saved where I can travel. That's not what they hear. They hear the bus is 50 pesos. My rent is the equivalent of $300. I sleep over here and I eat at this place, which is $1 a day. That's what a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old hear. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem I have with it. The visas are good. The visa is good for everyone. It does not expire. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, getting visas that don't expire. They have to make a homeless shelter for the expats here in Bangkok. That is a shame, bro. You come from a rich country and they got to make a shelter for you to go to. Came here thinking everything was sweet. Them people so broke, they dropped the R off poor. It's poor. Damn. It's bad out there. SMC question. How can someone with 100% PTSD rating take it? You can't. There's no, unless, and I talked about this earlier, the Beach of Life. Just having 100% PTSD is not going to get you in the SMC category. Unless you're in a situation where somebody was talking about earlier, they're deemed incompetent. Like they can't do anything without somebody helping them, right? Unless you're in a situation like that where you need daily help, just being PTSD 100% is not going to get you in the SMC category. The Philippine courtesy SSRV visa was never expire, but you have to pay an annual fee of $10 after you get $10, but it never expires. Man, that's another one I may go get. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Any country that's offering something for life, I'm definitely interested in it, even if I never lived there. I bet if you tied a loaf of bread to your back on a motorcycle, drive down the street, the gigolos will be coming out of the woodwork for the bread. So sad. Wow. No, they are. Okay. Man, hey, I'm telling you guys, man, pay attention more to what people do versus what they say. That's all I'm saying, man. Pay attention to what people do versus what they say. Because if they're always in the same spot telling you something, they always walk to the same store by themselves telling you something, that should tell you something about them. They got nothing going. They got nothing going. How many times have I put videos on here when I'm with people? And it's not like I'm not paying these people to be with me. They just want to hang out. I want to hang out with them. That's just like this just like coming up for Christmas, right? This is when you know who's real in these countries and who's not. Because for Christmas, if you know people here, you've been here how long? Year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or however long they supposedly been here. You made some friends by now, right? Watch and see what they do for Christmas. Watch. Because in this country, and as those of you who visit Latin countries, they treat you like family here. Everybody gonna invite you to their house. It's not like they expecting gifts. Everybody gonna invite you. Watch and see. That's how you know who's real and who's fake. And J Love, that's from here, and some of the other cats that have been here, that's got friends here, y'all know this. Y'all know this. Even if you told them, no, I don't want to go, they gonna come get you. They coming to your house, you going. You ain't sitting in the house, no, you going. That's how you know, man. I'm telling you guys, this is how you know. Watch what they do for Christmas. That's gonna eliminate a lot of the BS. Christmas and New Year's. If they alone, online, telling you, oh man, I didn't want to hang out, they ain't got nobody to hang out with. Because Colombians, Dominicans, they're not, not when they're your friends. That's a no-no. That is a no. Had a few folks who ain't spoke to me all year hit me up. Funny when it's time getting VA money. I wasn't hearing from Of course not. Let's see. They most likely will get a box of rocks. Let's see. The Caribbean is easy to enter, exit. I love it there, especially in the winter and the summer months. Still need a passport, but they welcome foreigners. Yep. St. Martin, Augustine, yeah. St. Bart, St. Kitts, yeah. But I'm telling y'all, man, real talk, no BS. If you've been in this country, Colombia, I don't care where you are, Bogota, Cartagena, Barranquilla, Santa Marta, San Andrea, does not matter. You've been in this country any length of time. You know any Colombians here that you call friends that you've been around. You are not going to be alone for Christmas. I want you all to pay attention to your favorite YouTubers who get online, tell y'all all this crap about Colombia, how wonderful it is. Watch what they do for Christmas. Watch what they do for New Year's. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. Whether they really living here or they just perverts pretending to be living here. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. All right, guys. That's it, man. I've been on for a minute. I appreciate everybody watching as always. I'm going to start trying to do more of these live shows, man. There's enough of you guys asking me to do these live shows. And next year, I'm going to do some live shows on the other channel, answering tech questions as well. But I will try to add veteran on here somewhere so you guys can distinguish the difference between that channel and this channel. But until then, guys, I appreciate everybody as always. I am out. You guys have a great day today.